don't know what I'm doing here. I did want to show you this shirt. So, and Dr. Cutler over here, I told him this yesterday. I spent the night in Swift Current. We got into a conversation, as I normally do, which I encourage you all to do, to advertise catalyst work. Most of the people in the streets don't know anything about catalysis, or they think they don't. They really experience it. But everybody in Swift Current, as far as I know, knows about the synchrotron. Because when I said I'm coming to Saskatoon for a meeting, oh, you're going to the synchrotron. You guys did a good job. And I want to commend you for that. And I want to encourage the rest of us. This shirt, by the way, there's an anecdote behind it. It's from my youngest son's music group. You believe that? He is a vocalist for a rock band in Oklahoma City. He tried out for this band, lo and behold, their name of the band is Catalysis. So he sent me this shirt, and I'm proud to wear it for two reasons. One, it advertises Catalysis, and secondly, he has a day job too. Which means he's still out of my wallet. This is a little different because I don't represent industry. I represent perhaps academics and the National Lab System. On that first slide over there, you'll see an Institute for Interfacial Catalysis, which was put together, is being put together at the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. I've been interested in why there was not a internationally recognized catalysis center in the DOE complex in the United States. I've been interested in that for probably 10 years. And on the next slide, we'll give you a little background about what this is about. And this report, which is dated May 2002, is a result of a workshop held in Washington, D.C., or Gaithersburg, Maryland, that I chaired, and about 75 or 80 people from around the United States, from academics, industry, and the National Lab System put this report together. This is a short version of a very long report that you can get off the DOE website. The grand challenge is to understand how to design catalyst structures to control catalytic activity and selectivity. This is followed by, forgive me, punch that button again, a list of opportunities. You can read those opportunities that catalysis and nanoscience. Of course, nanoscience in the United States is a big deal. It's nanoscience with nano dollars for nano people. Molecular catalysis on surfaces, biocatalysis, tools for advancing catalysis science. Give me the next, punch that button again. I didn't realize I'm going to have to. So there's a strategy for success, and that's to integrate these things. And that's really the underpinnings of the Institute for Interfacial Catalysis. Strike, hit me once more. So we held a workshop in Pacific Northwest National Laboratory a little bit later to gather some people to discuss advanced resources for catalysis science. The point I'm trying to make is that it takes a lot of this kind of paperwork over a long period of time to get to the attention of the people who write the checks, namely the Department of Energy in our case. We followed that with the self-declaration. So the DOE didn't decide we wanted to have this institute. We decided at PNNL we wanted to have this institute. I wasn't there at the time. I'm fairly well connected with those people, and they conned me into coming and being the first director of this Institute for Interfacial Catalysis. Give me the next slide. So we do a lot of work in a facility at the PNNL, which is by charter a user facility. That means that any person in this room, in principle, could write a proposal and come there and make use of the facilities. Not all of the catalysis facilities are in this environmental molecular sciences lab, but a huge component of them. And I'll be able to give you more details about this in this talk I'm giving tomorrow morning at 9:30, which I'll have a broader spectrum of activities. My point here is that this is something that is a necessary, in my opinion, part of any kind of national center we need to integrate. We're very, very strongly coupled through a variety of means to academic institutions, to industrial organizations around the United States. Next slide. Basically, what's on the ground? Why would White want to go there? I went there because among the DOE labs in the United States, this is the only one that I can name that's dominated by chemists and chemical engineers. And that's important. I know the labs in the United States, the DOE complex, fairly well, and there's no other lab quite like this one. We have about 60 people on the staff, technical staff at the moment, working across the spectrum of things from fundamental science to practical solutions. One of the best examples of that is probably in the area of emissions catalysis, where we have a very strong program supported by basic energy sciences of the Department of Energy, all the way to a program supported by EP, which is another office of the Department of Energy, which involves a lot of the engine companies in the United States. So we have a lot of people. We try to bring together experiment theory and computation on an equal footing. We have strong programs in hydrogen, fossil fuels, biomass, renewables, and exhaust emissions. And when people come to me and ask me what should we be working on, I tell them, do me catalysis on energy-related reactions. So that would be one of the delimiters. We have a lot of facilities there, and that's what's in place. Next slide. These are two slides that come more from the academic side. So I'm putting on right now my kind of professor hat. For those of you who don't know me, as a graduate student, I thought the world's most complicated reaction was hydrogen plus deuterium, H plus D2. And that just tells you that I tend to think from the bottom up. And so anything I say here should be taken like that. Another thing you should know is I sat on the University of Texas Intellectual Property Committee for probably 5 or 6 years, chairing that. I came to the conclusion that the University of Texas, at any rate, wouldn't know intellectual property if they saw it. Basically, that means that there are a lot of good ideas floating around, but which ones are really worth pursuing? It's a very difficult proposition, and most universities that I'm aware of aren't really organized in such a way that they can do that. Of course, we have individual entrepreneurs, and that's the route that I've always proposed that universities take. I would just point out to you that when you deal with industry or academics and national labs, the reward system is different. When I went to the University of Texas 40 years ago, I was told, if you want to be tenured, you got to do X. What was X? It's listed over there. Grantsmanship. Get some money from the federal government. Prove that you can stand up to a proposal. And the number of peer-reviewed publications always comes into account. And that's rewarded. Things are a little different in industry. Things are a little different in national labs. And the cross-section where we can get together has to be negotiated. And it's different from departments to department. I suspect in chemical engineering it's a little easier to get rewarded for patents. If I did a patent in the chemistry department when I was an assistant professor, it probably would have counted against me. I don't mean to be cranky, but I'm a friendly crank, if you want to put it that way. I just think we need to recognize that the reward systems are significantly different. The next slide. Complexity and the attention span. Most of the universities are complicated. We have departments, we have deans, we have vice provosts, and lo and behold, we have lawyers that think that any intellectual property developed in any way with our campus ought to belong to the University of Texas, more or less. And to put it on the extreme, on the other side of the equation, it seems to me that the legal people, even at PNNL, are really interested in how we're going to deal with intellectual property. So that's been a stumbling block for some of the negotiations that I've been involved in over the years. And I would just point out that the organizations get complicated. I directed a Science and Technology Center for synthesis, growth, and analysis of electronic materials for 11 years. So I've dealt with the chemical industry, I've dealt with the electronics industry, and by and large what we found works is take this on as a 5-year project, try to get the connections made from the highest level to the bench level, and then you have something that you can probably sustain. In the big ventures, the one like Leo mentioned that have to do with, I think that's exactly what went on. They got stitched together from the bottom to the top, so everybody was on board. That's really significant. I can give you good cases and bad cases. We've probably all experienced those. I would just suggest to you that students are not experts. Okay? We take students in as an academic. Most of us, we got really bright kids. Some of them aren't. There's a student of mine that was older than I was when we went to the University of Texas that actually taught in Saskatchewan for a number of years. I tried to find him when I came here. He's moved to South Carolina. So, he's a good man. But by and large, we're building capabilities into those students to help solve problems. And dollars flow from industry to academics, and what the expectations are on both sides is really important. I think I should shut up there. I would point out to you that I have some brochures that describe this fabulous Institute for Interfacial Catalysis, which we continue to try to pursue as another